up, everyone? Mr. Octagon here from Octagon Gaming, and we're back with our NFL predictions here. We're now at week 8. We're like halfway done the year, which is absolutely crazy. And last week, we definitely had a rebound week. After we had a really good week 2, we've not had a week where we've gone over 500 until now. Last week, we went 10-5, and we almost got 100 points. As the only important game we lost was the Broncos and Chargers. We picked the Broncos pretty high, but other than that, the other 4 games that we lost were all low-point games. So I had a very solid week last week, and I think I know why. It's because I didn't pick the Lions super high, because the Lions didn't play. So this week, I probably am going to pick the Lions again. I mean, I already know who I'm picking, and I will admit I am picking the Lions, because I'm extremely biased, if you guys don't know. So without further ado, let's get to our picks. So of course we pick each NFL game going into the week, but we go above and beyond on this channel. We give a confidence rating. So if we're not too confident on a game, let's say we have the Browns and the 49ers, and we think the Niners are going to win, which the Niners would kill the Browns, but let's just say we think the Niners are going to win, but we're not super confident, we're going to pick them with a lower number. And if the Niners win, let's say we pick the Niners for 1. If the Niners win, we get 1 point. If the Browns win, we get 0 points. Let's say we have the Browns and the Lions, and I'm really confident the Lions are going to win. I'm going to pick them with like a 16, even though there's only... I think it only goes up to 13 this week because 6 teams have a bye week. But let's just say there's no bye weeks. I pick the Lions with a 16 over the Browns. So if the Lions win, I get 16 points. If the Browns win, I get Zippo. But obviously the Lions will win that game. So, Lions and Steelers, I already told you I'm picking the Lions. The Steelers look good lately. They're 5-2. They've just won 2 in a row after getting killed by Jacksonville. They beat the Chiefs, and they won last week as well. Antonio Brown's balling out. Juju Smith-Schuster's been good. Le'Veon Bell's been back to Le'Veon Bell ways. And the Steelers are looking good, but the Lions are coming off a bye week, so they have 2 weeks rest. They've lost 2 in a row. We have not won since week 4. So we're probably a little mad. Stafford should be back to normal because he got a little banged up against the Panthers. Against the Saints, he wasn't fully himself. We had a few injuries against the Saints. Greg Robinson, Glover Quinn, and Golden Tate. So hopefully they're all good for this game. I think it's an important game. If we lose this game, I don't think we can make the playoffs. Sunday Night Football at home, I think we can win this game. And I think we need to, and I think we're going to realize that, and we're going to get that W. I'm picking my Detroit Lions with a 1 instead of with like a 10, because I'm being logical. And now we have the Seahawks and Texans. This should be an exciting game. I am picking the Seahawks with a 2. The Texans, like the Lions, are coming off a bye week. Deshaun Watson has been magical, to say the least, and I've really liked what I've seen from him this year. I don't think Kareem Hunt's a lock for winning Rookie of the Year, and honestly, I think if the season ended right now, it would be like 50-50, because Deshaun Watson has looked great. Obviously, it looks like it's going to be one of those two, unless Leonard Fournette can be really good, which Leonard Fournette's been really good, but like really, really good. Or maybe someone else like Kenny Galladay, potentially, but I'm picking the Seahawks. The Seahawks have a very tough defense, but Deshaun Watson has looked good regardless. Like, the Chiefs have a tough defense. Watson scored 5 touchdowns. See? So Deshaun Watson can get it done against tough defenses. I think he's going to do well, but Russell Wilson was great last week. And even though the Texans defense is good, they don't have J.J. Watt, they don't have Whitney Merciless, and I think Russell Wilson's going to have another great week. Now we have the Saints and the Bears. The Saints have been on a roll, winning their last 4. They have not lost since week 2. They've been looking really good. They're on cloud 9. And we have the Bears, who have also been on a roll ever since they started Mitchell Trubisky. Ever since they started Trubisky, his first game they almost won, and his next 2 they did end up winning. So the Bears have been 2-1, almost 3-0 for Trubisky at the helm, and I think Mitchell Trubisky is going to continue to eat. I think the Saints' winning streak is going to snap. I think the Bears are going to surprise some people. I think the Bears are a solid team this year. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. The NFC North is like ugly, but like not that ugly. Because, like, obviously, I don't think Packers are going to do anything. The Vikings are, like, 5-2, and they're playing the Browns this week. So, the Vikings are looking good. We actually have an easy schedule as well. I mean, we play the Browns in a few weeks, so that's good. I'm picking the Bears to win this game. Jordan Howard's been great lately. Tarek Cohen's a good player. I think the Bears are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a good game, though. These two teams have been surprisingly on a roll. Now for Thursday Night Football, we have the 3-4 Ravens and the 4-2 Dolphins. I don't know how the Dolphins are 4-2. 5-2 just does not make sense to me. The Ravens are coming off some losses. I think the Ravens are going to win this game, and I don't really know how to explain it too super much. Ravens are going to win. I'm not super confident because I'm picking them with a 4, but I do think they're going to win. So a mini recap, I'm picking the Lions with a 1, the Seahawks with a 2, the Bears with a 3, the Ravens with a 4, and now we have the Cowboys and Redskins. The Redskins are 3-3. They need a win. The Cowboys, I believe, are also 3-3. They could use a win. And I'm pretty sure this probably is considered an upset, but I'm picking the Redskins. They looked good on Monday Night Football against the Eagles. I mean, they didn't look good, but they looked better than I expected in Philly. I think the Redskins are going to win this game. I think Kirk Cousins is a really solid quarterback. And yeah. Now we got the Falcons and Jets. Normally this would be a game that I'm like, oh, Falcons, pretty easy. But the Falcons have looked mediocre. They have not won since week 3. They've lost 3 in a row. They're just, ugh. And the Jets have looked surprisingly good. They're 3-4. They stood tough against I think they're 3-4. They stood tough against the Dolphins last week. I am still picking the Falcons with a 6. Maybe I should pick them a little higher since they're kind of mad they haven't won since week 3. Technically since week 2 because they did not deserve to win week 3. I'm still salty about that. I am picking the Falcons, but only with a 6. I think they're a much better team than the Jets. Even though the Jets have been mediocre for the past few years, I still think their roster is a mess. Even 2016, or no, not 2016, 2015 when they won 8 or 9 games, still thought their roster was a mess. I don't know how they won 9 games. Makes no sense. Now we got the Chiefs and the Broncos, 2 teams that have lost 2 in a row. I feel like it makes more sense for the Chiefs because, the Raiders needed to win last week. The Raiders won. The week before, who do they play? The Steelers. The Steelers needed to win. They won. The Broncos played teams that didn't need to win, and the Chargers and Giants, especially the Giants. The Chiefs have been, I think, the second best team in the league other than the Eagles. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game with a 7. They've had a long week because they played on Thursday. The Broncos have just looked, So I'm going to pick the Chiefs to get back to their winning ways. A mini recap, I'm picking the Redskins with a 5, the Falcons with a 6, the Chiefs with a 7, and now we have the Panthers and Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have really underperformed, in my opinion, this year. I thought they were going to win the division. Jameis, I don't think he's 100% healthy. And meanwhile, we have the Panthers, who have lost 2 in a row. They're 4-3. They're probably sort of upset. I think the Panthers are going to win. I mean, I was really tempted to pick the Bears last week, and I only picked the Panthers with a 5. I didn't pick the Panthers super high, so it's not like I picked them super high, which is good. This week, I'm picking up higher. I think they're mad. After they're 4-1, I'm like, yeah, I still think they're going to miss the playoffs. I think the Saints, honestly, are going to be the Saints are the only team in that division that looks like a playoff team, and I thought the Saints would be by far the worst team in that division. I don't know how the Bucks and Saints and not the Bucks and Saints, the Bucks and Panthers and Falcons keep losing, but I don't think the Panthers or Falcons, for that matter, are going to lose this week. The Bengals are 2-4. They're coming off a loss against the Steelers. Before that, they had a bye week, and before that, they won 3 in a row, or 2 in a row, sorry, and the Colts, I think, are still a mess without Andrew Luck. I think I'm picking the Bengals a little too high with a 9, but I think they're definitely the better team than the Colts. Don't really have much to say about it. I think I should have picked the Bengals lower, but it is what it is. In my 10, I actually do think I wish I picked the team that I picked lower as well. I said as well. It sounded like as wow. That was kind of cringy, but the Bills and the Saints, or not the Bills and the Saints, the Bills and the Raiders. What am I thinking? I picked the Bengals too high, I think, and I think I'm going to pick the Raiders too high as well. Picking the Raiders with a 10. They're coming off a long week. They don't need to win as bad this week, but they still could really use a win. The Bills have been solid, but I think the Raiders have a much more talented team. I think the Raiders are going to win this game. I think the Raiders are going to get back to their winning ways too. And there may be 3 teams in that AFC West division that make the playoffs this year. Recap, I'm picking the Panthers with an 8, the Bengals with a 9, the Raiders with a 10, and now we got the Chargers and Patriots. I'm probably picking the Patriots too high, but they are at home. They've been on a roll, and so have the Chargers. The Chargers won 3 in a row, but I believe the Patriots have won 3 in a row too. Tom Brady's been Tom Brady, and I'm deflating footballs. It's a long story. Patriots going to win this game, picking them up at 11. I've regretted picking the Patriots at the beginning of the season, but I think they've only lost 2 games. After week 1, they've been 5-1 somehow. They've looked sloppy. They honestly should be 3-4. They should not have beat the Texans. They should have not beaten the Bucs. Especially they should not have beaten the Texans. But I'm picking the Patriots to win this game. I think it's actually going to be a pretty good game, but pretty confident that the Patriots are going to walk out on top. The Browns has some good news and some bad news. The good news is they almost beat the Titans last week. They took it to overtime. And if they did beat the Titans, then my picks would have been screwed. Bad news is Joe Thomas, his snap streak of over 10,000 snaps ended. Every single offensive play for the past 10 years, Joe Thomas has been on the field. That is incredible. Clap it up for Joe Thomas. He is absolutely incredible. He got hurt last week for the first time in his career, which is nuts. Like, that's crazy. 10 years of non-stop snaps. That's crazy. Without being touched. So the Browns are really bad now. They probably are still gonna get a top 2 pick. And they're playing the Vikings. The Vikings have looked good lately. And picking the Vikings with a 12. Not much else to say about that. More mini recap, picking the Patriots with an 11, the Vikings with a 12. Now I got the Niners and Eagles. The Eagles have looked like the best team of the league. They're 6-1. Their only losses to the Chiefs, who've been like the second best team of the league. The Niners, they have not won yet, but they've looked pretty decent this year. Last week was just ugly, but from weeks 2 to week 6, every loss was within 3 points. So the Niners have been in a bunch of close games minus last week. And the Eagles are the Eagles. Picking the Eagles pretty high with a 13. That's again this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I do good this week. I'm sort of confident, kind of. But one week I was not confident, which was last week. I did pretty good. So hopefully I do good this week, and I'm out. Peace.